Will you keep quiet, Sebastian? Excuse me, please. Sebastian, please. Don't interrupt my act. Sebastian!
Oh, Mr. Purvis, I didn't see the lights there. I forgot about
What
them.
in the world are you doing? Why interrupt my act like this?
Well, look, Mr. Purvis, I mean, after all, if you're in a ballpark, they always sell peanuts and popcorns and things like that.
I know that, Sebastian, but not in front of him. I beg your pardon, friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, and also the children, will you excuse me for a minute, please?
Thank you. What do you want to do?
Look, Mr. Broadhurst,
Right? What are you doing?
I love baseball.
Well, we all love baseball.
When we get to St. Louis, will you tell me the guys' names on the team so when I go to see them in that St. Louis ballpark, I'll be able to know those fellas?
Well, now, it's all right, folks. All right.
Excuse me, I want to find out the fellas' names.
As long as it's okay with
I'm
the
crazy
audience.
about baseball.
Will you stand still? Pick up your hat. Go pick up your hat.
Okay.
Now, look. Then you'll go and peddle your popcorn and don't interrupt the act anymore?
Yes, sir.
All right. But you know, strange may seem, they give ball players nowadays very peculiar names.
Funny names?
Nicknames, pet names.
Not as funny as my name, Sebastian Dinwiddie.
Oh, yes.
Funnier than that?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Now, on the St. Louis team, we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
That's what I want to find out. I want you to tell me the names of the fellas on the St. Louis team.
I'm telling you, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
You know the fellas' names?
Yes.
Well, then who's playing first?
Yes.
I mean, the fellow's name on first base.
Who?
The fellow playing first base for St. Louis.
Who?
The guy on first base.
Who is on first?
Well, what are you asking me for?
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, who is on first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
The first base.
Who is on first?
Have you got a first baseman on first?
Certainly.
Then who's playing first?
Absolutely.
When you pay off the first baseman every month, who gets the money?
Every dollar of it. Why not? The man's entitled to it.
Who is?
Yes.
So who gets it?
Why shouldn't he? Sometimes his wife comes down and collects it.
Whose wife?
Yes. After all, the man earns it.
Who does?
Absolutely.
Well, what I'm trying to find out is what's the guy's name on first base?
Oh, no. What is on second base?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Well, don't change the players.
I'm not changing nobody.
Take it easy.
What's the guy's name on first base?
What's the guy's name on second base?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
He's on third. We're not talking about him.
How did I get on third base?
You mentioned his name.
If I mention a third baseman's name, who did I say is playing third?
No, who's playing first?
Stay off of first, will you?
Well, what do you want me to do?
Now, what's the guy's name on third base?
What's on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
He's on third.
There I go, back on third again.
Well, I can't change their names.
Will you please stay on third base, Mr. Broadhurst?
Now, what is it you want to know?
What is the fella's name on third base?
What is the fella's name on second base?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know. Third base. You got an outfield?
Oh, sure.
St. Louis has got a good outfield?
Absolutely.
The left fielder's name?
Why?
I don't know. I just thought I'd ask you.
Well, I just thought I'd tell you.
Then tell me who's playing left field.
Who is playing first?
Stay out of the infield.
Don't mention their names out here.
I want to know what's the fella's name in left field.
What is on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who is on first?
I don't know. Third base.
Oh, take it easy. Take it easy, man.
And the left fielder's name?
Why?
Because.
Oh, he's center field. He's center.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, we lost our music. That's all right. You know, it's hard to do these video intros, you know, get the music and everything working. Hey, this is Tribulation 515, 2011. Today is October 23rd, 2013. And my friends, we have reached day 892. And we're all asking who the hell is on first. You know, we're living in the most amazing times, my friends. I mean, just absolutely mind-blowing, amazing times for all of us, you know. We were watching a famous comedy routine by Abbott and Costello. And, you know, that video is kind of amazing. It's black and white. There's no color, you know. And that's where we're at in 2013. Black and white, you know. Walking in the light, walking in the shadow. You know, they were talking about the St. Louis, and, you know, tonight is game 1 of the World Series between my boys, the Boston Red Sox, and the St. Louis Cardinals. So go Boston, man. But it's funny because that video is St. Louis, only they're called the Wolves. And that, my friends, is another reflection of what's going on, is the wolves are out. And, you know, as that comedy skit begins, Abbott is talking to Costello, and he comes up on the stage, and he smashes a light, you know, a little destruction there, and he says, "I didn't see the light," you know, and that's what's going to be going on as well. Today's video is about cognitive dissonance. You know, resonance, dissonance. Dissonance is like the eighth note. It's distortion. It brings about negativity. You know, it's not harmonic, you know. And, you know, that's kind of what was going on with Abbott and Costello, is they were not in harmony with each other. They were talking two different languages. So it was bringing much confusion. And, Costello there was getting angrier, you know, because they kept going around in these circle jerks of logic. And you know what? That's why life right now, my friends, is amazing. You know, like, you wake up, and if you tune into, like, mainstream media, you feel like you're watching a movie, because everything just doesn't make sense, man. From the shutdown to Obamacare being a disaster, and it's all circle jerks of logic. People, you know, pointing the finger over at other people, nobody taking responsibility, you know, saying, who the hell's on first? But what I'm going to tell you, my friends, you know, it's black and white. And even though there is much darkness, you know, Obamacare is a big shadow program, a leviathon, you know. But a lot of people now on the internet, you know, all they can see is the shadow and the darkness. My friends, I'm going to give you some of the light today. And if your eyes are open, hopefully you will see it, man, because there is much glory, and it is in the midst of the darkness that the glory and the light shines forth the most, you know, in the darkest at midnight. But for those who see, they will see the light. What I'm going to focus on today, we're going to touch base on as much stuff as we can, but I'm kind of focusing on the eighth note. That's kind of in play. All the numbers are adding up, my friends. And I'm going to focus on Comet ISON. I'm going to throw out a bunch of information, and I'll put that in the notes of this video. But 8/8, the movie Thor's coming out on on November 8th, you know, 11/8, which equals 88. It's got Thor and Loki. We got two comets coming in. ISON kind of represents Thor, and then Comet Encke, which is Loki, you know. The orbital path of Encke is 3.3 years, 33. The orbital path of ISON, people are speculating that is actually the great comet that has come through several times and been given several names. But it comes through every 333 years. So there's this micro-macro orbit in play by a power of 10. But they kind of hit perihelion, and they hit the solar plane of our solar system all in the next, you know, 30 days or so. And the solar plane, you know, it's like resonance sound. It's like a record, you know, where the needle is dropping down. And will there be some kind of solar flare, electromagnetic pulse, you know, some kind of sound resonating? The eighth note, 8 days. You know, Jewish male babies are circumcised on the 8th day, and that's in play, my friends. Yesterday was a KKK day. You know, everything was coming up K, like Kim Kardashian married Kanye West. And then this nutcase politician in Florida, I'll put his names in the notes, but he put out some brochure saying the Republicans and Tea Parties were Ku Klux Klan, KKK. You know, but K is in play. Hanukkah, you know. But Comet ISON, big date coming up, November 3rd. That's when there's going to be a rare hybrid eclipse, and Comet ISON is going to be crossing the plane of our solar system. And it's very possible, and it's on a new moon. And what makes the hybrid eclipse is the shadow creates the ring eclipse, you know, and circles and rings are in play. And that's what a circumcision is a circular ring around the penis, the head of a man's penis. And you know what, this video is for adults, you know, so if you're underage, you know, shut this thing off right now. But ISON crosses the solar plane on October 3rd. 11:17 is a full moon. 11:22 is when Encke reaches perihelion with the sun, and it is a distance of 4.322 AU from the sun. The big date is November 28th. That is when ISON makes perihelion with the sun at 0.012 AU. That's like 12. And it's on the day of light, 5774. And, you know, sevens are in play. 7 and 7. Jesus is 77. You know, the 77 generations. The first 77, the second 77, Jesus' birth year equals 153. The triangle of the lone pine cone. On 1226, the comet or asteroid Lovejoy is in perihelion with the sun at 0.88 AU. There's that 88 again. And ISON will be the closest to Earth on that day, right after Christmas, you know. Is it by coincidence they changed Christmas to 1225, you know? And then on January 11th, there's something going on with Venus. I got to get the details with that, some kind of alignment. And, you know, there's all sorts of conjunctions and stuff going on with planets and whatnot, so the earthquake potential is off the charts. Solar flares. Right now, there's some solar flares where if you look at the numbers of the solar flares, you know, I'm not even going to bother bringing it up because I already know, like, right now, is it by coincidence, the solar flare's got an 8 in the middle, and there's 2 solar flares that are popping off right now, so that's 88, and then on either side is 77 or... whatever the other number was, you know, it's like that, the year of light, you know, 774, you know. All the numbers connect. All, you know, I can see it. If you look at everybody, you know, whether you're walking in total truth or even partial truth with some shadowiness, you know, most people are connecting dots at an extremely high rate. And once again, events are unfolding literally right in front of our eyes. And whether people want to see things or not, you know, I don't know what to say. But we got the tetrad of the blood red moons coming up in 2014, 2015. All of that portends and portrays events unfolding. And Comet ISON coming through is literally a story. And I'm going to tell you, my friends, I think that is the journey starting. You know, so I think it starts November 3rd, you know, the boat, the spiritual boat. So climb on board, like Stick says, you know. There's room for everybody, man. The ship of fools. And it's during this 30-day period of ISON swinging through the heavens, tells a story of redemption and traveling towards the promised land, you know, and it ends kind of with Hanukkah. And, you know, it starts, I think, with an 8-day period from the 3rd to the 11th, you know, so there's some kind of circumcision there. And then even Hanukkah, which starts on, I'm going to say November 28th, which is when ISON hits perihelion. You know, it's 8 days of oil and lights. So that, my friends, is... There may be much darkness, you know, whether it's our government or war breaking out or disease or terrible storms or whatever the heck's going on, where people want you to tune in to the dissonant resonance, which is the distortion, and to connect up to the fear and the darkness and the hatred and the bitterness. And I'm telling you, my friends, see the light and tune into the harmonic balance of peace. I just want to read this to you. Cognitive dissonance. This is out of Wikipedia. It's just it's under the title "Other Related Phenomenon of Cognitive Dissonance." Cognitive dissonance has also been demonstrated to occur in people when people seek to explain inexplicable feelings, like when a disaster occurs in a community, irrational, fearful rumors spread in nearby communities not involved in the disaster because of the need of those who are not threatened to justify their anxieties. People who minimize regret or irrevocable choices. Bettors at a racetrack are more confident in their chosen horse just after placing the bet because they cannot change it. People who seek to justify behavior that opposes their views. Students judge cheating less harshly after being induced to cheat on a test. To align one's perception of a person with one's behavior towards that person. To reaffirm already held beliefs. Congeniality bias refers to how people read or access information that affirms their already established opinions. And I'll tell you what, my friends, That is why the distortion is huge, you know, and the cloud is dark, because our whole lives, you know, especially with radio and TV, our minds have been programmed, and it's also through the schools, you know, where literally it's labyrinths and pyramids and boxes of earthly construction, you know, from the spirit and knowledge of man, not God, have been constructed, which restrict and stupefy our ability to actually see truth and reality, because we can't even rationalize what we're looking at because we're so screwed up in the head. So that's why, you know, if you followed over on Operation End Times, it was the mind fast process, which was tilling the field of your mind, prepping it, getting it ready to bear fruit and to be able to discern things, you know, because if not, you might be lost. You know, if you're believing what you see on TV, that's amazing. You know, Jon Stewart just did this scathing, you know, but probably the funniest stuff he has ever done, where he ripped President Obama and Obamacare. And, you know, RIP, that's R.I.P. for rest in peace. So, you know, the Obama presidency is pretty much on life support, you know, ready to, you know, go into the shadows. And all sorts of crazy stuff is happening. And, you know, his administration is just filled with, you know, distortion and cover-ups, and there's no transparency, and it's sickening, man. You know, that's the point I've reached. But once again, there is this amazing journey. You know, it's the journey of Comet ISON. It's going to be a spiritual march, my friends. You know, the doors are opening for those who see the light. And Comet ISON, you know, what I'm going to predict, I'm going to be bold. Is behold, you will see the lights. You know, Comet ISON will not disappoint. Keep your eyes to the sky, my friends. You know, understand the story that's being told. I'm going to put in a link to some documents that show you, you know, it's from the University of Sonoma, you know, Dabu, and a lot of other people have thrown out information, so I'm not taking credit for any of that stuff. I just kind of go to their pages and gather stuff. But NASA's got pages tracking Comet ISON, so I'm going to say keep your eyes open and your eyes to the sky, because the lights are going to be something to behold, my friends. And, you know, where others see darkness and hear and experience cognitive dissonance, because they're hearing dissonance, which is the eighth note, which is distortion, man, and it's a pulse, and it brings fear and anxiety. There's going to be those of us that are hearing something else, man. We're going to be hearing something beautiful that actually has colors in it, the colors of the rainbow, which is the notes of glory, my friends, you know, harmony. And as this Christmas season unfolds, I've been kind of anti-Christmas because it's manifested on Earth into such a dark, shadowy thing where it's all about materialism and buying and, you know, a lot of negativity. But this Christmas, I do believe, will be special, my friends. And when it's all said and done, you know, towards Christmas, the first of the year, a lot of us that see the glory and see the lights, we're going to be singing a song too. You know, it's going to be joy to the world. You know, our Lord has come. Let peace on earth reign. It's going to be glorious, my friends. All right, hey, over on Operation End Times, I'm about ready to drop the final video in the Gird Thy Loins series. You're not going to want to miss this. It's going to be filled with some absolutely mind-blowing, eye-opening enlightenment, you know, because this is a season of lights, you know, and, you know, much is pouring forth. You know, in that video at the beginning, who's on first, they kept saying the word absolutely, and that is what's in play. You know, absolutely abbot. You know, abbot is like a monk. You know, Costello, the cost. You know, everything, all words are in play. Everything means something nowadays. But absolutely, you know, is there absolute truth? Yes, there is, my friends. You know, God is absolute truth. But nowadays, it's getting harder and harder to see truth, you know, especially if your eyes being darkened, man. That means that you're getting trapped in some kind of labyrinth of your own thinking, or worse yet, you're ensnared by somebody else's thinking. So, you know, it's all about tuning in to the higher circuit, man, which, you know, the dissonance is actually higher frequencies. So all these people saying it's time to raise your vibrations, they're leading you to cognitive dissonance, which is confusion, man. That's why these people, when they release their own Kundalini, it's a painful, chaotic experience, man. But there is harmonic tones in the lower, simpler tones of life. And that is where true glory lies, my friend. And there's going to be much harmony and much joy and much light bursting forth, and it's going to manifest where, you know, Obamacare, man, God bless Obama, but if you have eyes to see, Obamacare is the perfect manifestation of something that was born in shadow, with seeds of deception and lies and juggling of numbers and smoke and mirrors, and it was ramrodded and forced. It was a dark cloudy waters that we all had to drink, bitter waters, and that's how it manifests, as this leviathon that doesn't work, that's just confusing, and that's 2013. That's how things are manifesting. So you better know where your heart lies, my friends, because it's not about getting circumcised on your penis. It's about getting circumcised on your heart, cutting off the flesh, the carnal mind, the carnal logic, and tuning in to the heavenly circuit. And that's where you got to plug in Jesus, man. And if that for some reason causes you to have some kind of negative reaction, some kind of cognitive dissonance when I say Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, if that causes you some kind of distortion, then I will pray for you that this video literally reaches out to you. Here's the finger, man. Behold! Let it transfer to you now, man, and open your eyes. Let you get on your knees and cry like a baby, man. You know what? I cried like a baby this morning because I had a revelation. I'm going to share that with everybody over on Operation End Times as I close out the Gird Thy Loins series. All right, but hey, this is Tribulation 515, 2011. We have the Christmas season of Christmas seasons. The bill they passed to raise the debt ceiling, to open up the government. Now they're saying everything's okay. Well, hey, that's just until January 15th, which is right after Comet ISON leaves, right around the 11th to the 15th, it kind of disappears. Is all that a coincidence? I think not, my friends. So, hey, may you have happy holidays. Halloween's coming. Talk about distortion, Thanksgiving, the Christmas holidays, and we have all these just amazing things. The finger of God is at work. God's handiwork. I hope you have the eyes to see it, man. Hey, God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in. And you know what? Just walk in love and truth, man. Share the love, share the truth. All right. Hey, stay thirsty.